Hello, hello. Come on in. Have a seat.
As long as it does not become a problem.
We have Teresa's spot.
Yeah.
That's Teresa's spot. But if I want to sit in the back. Nope, you cannot sit here.
Hey, if there is any problems today, you guys are going back to your side seat. Okay?
Oh, yes. We'll do nothing with it, I promise.
Sometimes they use the bean bags if you're fine with it. If they want to sit here, is that okay? Would you rather?
We're going to be
sit?
moving around the whole time, so they should probably be in their best.
Okay. Yeah, put those back then.
Who's that? Yeah, who's that?
How is everybody? All right, we'll get started. My name is Mr. Bramhall, and you may have seen me around. I can simplify this for you. You're all in CCLC, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you're in CCLC, and you know who Mrs. Shepherd is, right?
Yeah.
Mrs. Shepherd is awesome. And you also know that you were probably in CCLC at the elementary, maybe? Were you at the elementary program? And you probably knew Miss Jen? Is that possible? Okay. Well, basically, who I am is I'm their boss. I'm Miss Shepherd's boss, right? Okay. So I'm coming in, and what I want to do is I want to have a fun time and learn a lot. Because this is a very special group of people with a very special mission. We want to learn after school, because we know after school is fun, right? You get to have recess and snack and dinner, and I just want to make sure that you guys are having fun, and I can show you a few things that I know. Sound fair? Thumbs up if you're with me. Halfway if you're like, I don't know what's going on, or down, you're like lost out in the hallway, you have no idea what's going on. Thumbs up, or we have a question. Yes?
Yeah. Do you know Miss Sierra?
Miss Sierra, yes. I know a lot of Miss Sierras. Can you be specific?
My sister, yes.
Question.
Can I just call you Mr. B?
Mr. B works for me.
What's your name again?
Mr. Bramhall.
Oh.
Bramhall. Yeah, but you can call me Mr. B, that's fine. Question. No, she does, unfortunately. That's okay, though, because she runs this program. You can think of her as what we would call the site coordinator. She's the head of this program, right? One way of looking at it is like I'm the principal of CCLC. That's how my boss explains it, is that I'm the principal of CCLC.
So you're like Miss 5. And then
Yeah, but of CCLC.
Yeah.
Yep.
Another question.
Exactly. Last one.
I forgot.
Oh, you forgot. Okay. So like I said, special time. We're going to learn a lot. We're going to have a lot of fun. But I have to know who you are, because I don't even know who you are. So I want you to think. You're going to tell me your name when I call on you. And you're also going to tell me one interesting thing about you.
Can I take a drink?
So think for a second. Just one interesting thing about you. One interesting thing. One interesting thing. Now I want you to spend just a little bit of time. Turn to your neighbor and whisper to them what your interesting thing about you is. Go. All right, time. Time. Voice is off. Eyes up here. Go ahead. First, name and one interesting thing about you. Good at basketball. Name one interesting thing about you. Name one interesting thing about you. Five? Are you the oldest? No. Youngest? Middle child. Name one interesting thing about you.
I'm Teresa and I'm good at singing.
Singing and dancing. Name and one interesting thing about you.
And I was born without my dad.
Okay, gotcha. Name one interesting thing about you.
I'm Enrichment and I'm good at singing and basketball.
Singing and basketball. Name one interesting thing about you.
My name is Moses and I'm good at soccer.
Good at soccer. And like I said, I'm who? Mr. B or Mr. Bramhall. And one interesting thing about me is I'm married, but my wife is expecting a baby. We're expecting our first baby. So in a few months, I'll have a little baby. So that's pretty cool, huh? All right. So speaking of that, I didn't ask your age. I didn't ask how old you are. How many people in here are over the age of 10? Raise your hand.
Over? No.
Over the age of 10.
Miss Lexi,
How many of you are under the age of 20? You're under the age of 20. Okay, you're all under 20. That's good. Okay, hands down. How many of you are over the age of 7? How many of you are over the age of 8? you're 9. Raise your hand if you're not 9. How old are you, buddy? 10? Any other 10s in here? You're the oldest. Oh, well, okay. For sure,
My
agreed.
birthday's almost coming.
Because you're the oldest, I need you to come up here.
Get
You
out.
have to come up here. And who's the youngest?
All of us.
Well, you weren't all born on the same day, were you?
My birthday's in June.
My birthday's in March.
So here's a way of figuring this out.
My year is
What year were you born? Tell me the year you were born.
2012. 2012. 2012. 2012.
2012.
Okay, now you got to figure out the month that you were born.
June, July, February, April, May.
March.
Who said February? That'd be the earliest.
She's the second
Yeah.
oldest.
So you were born February of 2012.
Okay.
Right? February of 2012.
June.
And you were born in when?
July.
July. And who was born in June? And who was born in July? You were born in July, so you're the youngest, right? Okay, so come on up here. We got the oldest and the youngest.
thought I was the youngest.
Thought so too
July
for
goes
a
after
second.
June.
All right, so we're gonna divide up into teams, and here's how we're gonna do this. For the remaining people who are left, you have to line up according to height right here. So you're gonna line up back here according to height. Tallest is gonna be right here, and then you'll line up with the shortest down here. Go, you got 10 seconds, go. Line up according to height. Line up according to height, go, 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 go. Height, according to height, how tall you are. There's the tallest, next.
I'm taller than you.
No, you're
Oh,
not.
I think you two gotta flip.
Flip-flop.
All right, remember
Oh,
your number. You're a 1, you're a 2. Did you see me do that?
What?
1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. If you're a 1, go with him. If you're a 2, go with her.
You won.
Great. I'm two.
And then when you're in your group, have a seat on the floor. Somebody lost count of where they were. Oh, okay, there you go. Perfect. All right. So you see who your group are. Everybody's going to need a Scholastic News. So
Why
grab
don't
your
we
Scholastic
come
News.
too? So then they can have 4. Your student
Grab your
too.
Scholastic News. There you go.
I got one.
Perfect. Okay.
Someone.
So we said 1's over here, 2's over here.
Yep.
All right. So we were talking about years that you were born. You said 2012 and 2013 or 11? 2011. So 2011 and 2012, correct? Thumbs up if you're with me. Sideways, you don't know what's going on. You're really lost. Thumbs down. Okay. So we're talking about years. Let me ask you, how many days in a year?
365.
365. 365 days equals 1 year. How many months in a year? 12 months in a year. Do we know all the months? We're going to start here and we're going to go in order.
January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, November, December.
There we go. Now, why I'm focusing on your age, why I'm focusing on the year and the dates, is because I want you to open up to page 4 of your Scholastic News, and you're going to realize why I have you open up to page 4, and we've been talking about years. Who can read the headline for me? Go ahead, read the headline.
2021 year in review.
A year in review. And we said a year is how many days? 365. Okay. So as we take a look at this, just scan it real quick, those 2 pages. Do you know what it means to scan? Yep. You're just kind of scanning, skimming. You're not really reading it. You're just looking at the photos, looking at some of the fonts. Raise your hand. Raise your hand if you can tell me one thing that you see just by skimming or quickly looking at it. What's one thing?
A girl jumping off a beam.
A girl jumping off a beam. Sounds scary. Yes.
Joe Biden.
Joe Biden. President Joe Biden.
Girl holding a trophy.
A trophy and a girl holding it.
Shang-Chi.
Yes.
Shang-Chi.
Not exactly sure, but we'll get there. Yes. Go ahead.
Cars floating. What?
Cars floating. Yes. And
Joe Biden.
we've already said that one. Good guess. Last one.
2 people wearing medals.
2 people wearing medals. Excellent. Here's what I need you to do. For for our next part of this lesson, you got to go back to your desk. So go back to your desk. Take your Scholastic News with you.
Can I go anywhere?
They're recording. They're recording.
All right. Let me ask you this. We're now in January 2022. So we're going to look back because it says year in review of 2021. Think to yourself, what was the biggest event of 2021? Just think to yourself, what was the biggest event? Maybe it's the biggest event to you. Maybe it was a big world event. What was a big event? What was something that happened in 2021? Something that happened in 2020. Whisper it to a neighbor. Go.
COVID.
And there was a lot of people.
Got 5 seconds. 4, 2, 1. Time. Raise your hand if you can tell me one interesting or important thing or big event that happened last calendar year, 2021. What's one thing?
I went to California.
You went to California. Big trip for you. Important, right?
They voted for a new president.
We had a different president. Yes.
I went to Colorado 2 times.
2 events. Trip to Colorado.
COVID.
COVID is a major event. Think about that. When people are not just 1, not just 2, but 10 or 100 or 1,000 years from now, they're going to look back and they're going to say, what was the big event from 2021? And they're going to say,
COVID.
probably going to say COVID, right? Yeah.
We went to Hawaii.
Hawaii. I wish I could have been on that trip.
Joe, we got a new president.
Our new president. Okay. So as we take a look, 2021 year in review. Why don't you go ahead and remind me of your name?
Leslie.
Can you read the subtitle there? It says, As the World.
As the world gets really to read in 2022, here's a recap of some of the biggest headlines in the past year.
Okay. So, we know that Scholastic News, this edition of it, there's many editions. This one was printed, if you look at the very front. When was it printed?
December 20th, 2021.
And we're now in January. So that explains why it says as we get ready to ring in 2022, right? Because they always talk about ringing in the new year. I don't know if you guys stay up until midnight to ring in the new year, maybe. Watch it on TV, I don't know. Go outside, shoot off fireworks, do something crazy. Maybe, yes.
When it was New Year, me and my cousin went to the church and celebrated New Year.
That's fantastic. Very good. Okay, so we're looking back historically. Raise your hand if you've ever been in a history class. Have you ever taken history or social studies? Right? So that's what I did. I taught history and social studies for 7 years. I taught for 7 years at high school, and I taught 1 year at the college level to adults. So I love history. I love civics and government. I think it's really cool. So being able to look back at history is pretty cool. Take a look. We have some major events, right, that they're going to highlight here on page 4 and page 5. And the first one says, Tops in Tokyo. Tops in Tokyo? Well, first off, what's a Tokyo? Or maybe a better question is, where is Tokyo? Where's Tokyo?
China.
No, but close, geographically speaking.
Japan.
Japan, yes. Is there a map in here? Maybe?
Yeah.
Maybe?
Yeah.
Oh, that's like old school
That's
map.
Nebraska.
That's Nebraska. I don't see them.
She doesn't have a globe.
Okay, so you guys, oh, that globe right up there.
Oh. You can grab it.
I need one volunteer. Volunteer, the person who got the best grade on the last test in school. Anybody get 100? Anybody get 100? What class were you taking that you got 100?
This one's.
Okay, come on up here. But now you got to find Tokyo.
Tokyo. Can we do keep on? I wanna.
Everyone huddle around so we can see here. Let's see if he can find Tokyo. Not China.
Where's Japanese? Try to find out.
Try to find Japan.
Let your short friends in.
Find Japan.
There's a lot of books.
Find Japan.
There's a map.
There, Tokyo, right here. Everyone see Tokyo?
Why is Tokyo so
Put your
small?
finger on Tokyo. And then I got my finger way over here, on Crete, Nebraska. That's a long ways, huh? All right, have a seat.
Why is Tokyo so small?
Yeah. No, if you're like on it, then it will look big. But
Tokyo is.
It's one of the largest cities
I
in the
know.
world. It's actually one of the largest cities in the world. We said Tokyo is where? Japan. Say it again with me. Where is Tokyo?
Japan.
One more time. Where is Tokyo?
Japan.
There we go. Let's read. It says tops in Tokyo. Who would like to read? Go ahead.
Because of COVID-19 pandemic, the 2020 Summer Olympics didn't take place until 2021. The games finally kicked off July 23rd in Tokyo, Japan. Team USA won 113 medals, the most of any country. The top American athlete was swimmer Caleb Dressel. He took home 5 gold medals, more than any other athlete at this year's games. And when Denise Simone Biles decided not to compete in some events, her teammate Sumi stepped into the spotlight. We won 3 medals and became the first Asian American gymnast to win the all-around Olympics.
Okay, thank you for reading. Take a look here. We have a photo, and then they have 2 portraits of athletes.
yes.
And then they also have the medal count. It says U.S. 2020 Olympic medals. It says 39 golds. That's first place. Silver is what place? Second. How many did we get there?
41.
Yep. And bronze means it's what place?
Third.
Third. And how many did we win in third place?
3.
Okay.
33.
But first, before we even get that far, I'm assuming something incorrectly. It's possible that there's people in here that don't even know what the Olympics are.
I know.
Find someone within this room with the same color of shirt as you. It could just be one color on the shirt. And I want you to tell them in 10 seconds everything you know about the Olympics. Go! Go, go, go! Find someone with the same color shirt. Tell them everything you know about the Olympics. Go, go, go!
My shirt's gray.
Find somebody.
It's like monkey bars on there, but
There's a
the
lot of games of swimming,
Oh,
soccer,
right.
football,
going under net,
swimming,
That's
netball,
white.
gymnastics,
gymnastics.
sports.
You have a white shirt?
Who was the first?
Time out. Pause your conversations. Pause. Well, nope, stay where you are. Freeze. Pause. But pause. Now, I want you to find anyone across the room you haven't spoken with yet today. You got to tell them everything you know about the Olympics in 10 seconds. Unfreeze. Go.
There's sports, you're competing. There's some gymnastics, there's dancing, swimming.
Hi, Moses.
Tell me about the
Rock There's like monkey bars, but they don't have touch. They just spin.
And freeze. The Olympics. It's known for athletics. And it happens every 4 years. The summer every 4. The winter every 4. And it rewards people who are athletic. So here's what I'm asking. Who can jump the highest in here? Unfreeze and jump the highest. Oh, I gotta do it again. Who jumped the highest?
3, 2, 1. I think it was Emma.
Yeah, I think Emma got everybody. Yep. Very good. All right, go back to your seat.
Emily. I'm not Emily.
You reminded me of Emily.
How many days in a year we said?
365.
365 days in a year. You guys are how old?
9.
9 and 10 years old. So you've lived for 9 years. Or maybe you've lived for 10 years. We said the Olympics occur every
4 years.
Olympics.
Are we doing math?
Every 4 years.
Yeah, probably.
So, if you are 10, how many Olympics have you possibly lived through? Possibly. Possibly 2. Now, the thing that's interesting is, we'll go back just a few years. Let's go back to, let's say, 2008. 2008, we had what was called the Summer Olympics.
Huh?
2010, we had the Winter Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
2012, we had summer. 2016, we had winter, 2014, we had winter. So what does that mean 2016 probably was?
Summer.
Summer, winter, summer, winter.
Summer.
Summer. 2018 would have been
Winter.
winter. 2020 would
Summer.
have been summer. But wait a second. We're reviewing the year in review 2021. Why are they saying that the Olympics occurred in 2021 and not 2020? Because we know every 4 years we have a Summer Olympics, and every 4 years we have a Winter Olympics, but we should have had Summer Olympics in 2020. Why did they say that it occurred in 2021? It goes back to what we were talking about earlier. The biggest event, when they look back from years, COVID delayed the Olympics, right? The Olympics got delayed an entire year. Crazy, right?
Wait, so next year's gonna be the Olympics if there's no COVID?
So next year we will have
Winter.
2022 will be which one?
Winter.
Winter Olympics. Yep.
No,
Winter
2023.
No,
Next
they
year.
occur every 4 years, right? So summer, 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 summer. See how those are every 4?
Yeah.
And then if you look at the winter, those are also every 4. Yep. Makes sense? Clap your hands twice if you're with me. Twice? Oh, hey, there you go. Okay. Any questions, though? Questions? Yes.
I don't get this.
Don't get it. Okay.
Because I thought it was like this.
Yeah. So, example, 2008, we had the Summer Olympics. In 4 years, we'll have the Summer Olympics again in 2012. But we also have a thing called the Winter Olympics. That would be like which sports? Ice skating, hockey, sledding. Those happen every 4 years as well, but they don't happen in the same year, right? They offset them every 2 years. And we were going fine until COVID delayed everything, right? Or at least for these. If you could participate in one Olympic sport, just one Olympic sport, and that's the only sport you can ever play for the rest of your life. Whisper it to your neighbor. Go.
Basketball.
Raise your hand. Raise your hand when you have something. What did your neighbor say was their sport? Soccer. What did your neighbor say was their sport? Basketball. What did your neighbor say? Soccer. All right. Let's see. What can we do here? I think we need to keep reading. Question though. Are you more interested in movies or sinking cars? Raise your hand if you're more interested in movies. Raise your hand if you're more interested in sinking cars. 3.
I'm both.
Oh, wait, you can't flip? Okay, wait a second. He flipped his vote.
I did
Okay, so we're going to start with movies and we'll see how far we get. How much time do we have?
both. We have 1,000 hours.
1,000 hours. Okay. So, we're looking at movies at the very bottom. We see a photo. See the photo down there? Okay. Do I have a volunteer to read where it says superhero success? Superhero success. Go ahead, read for us.
Movie fans slowly started to return to theaters this summer. No film brought them back like Marvel's
Shanghai. Shanghai. Shanghai.
And The Legend of the Ten Rings. The movie broke box office records on Labor Day, reaching the early more than 9 million. The film starting made history for another reason. It is Marvel movie centered on the Asian superhero, but will Shanghai be the biggest movie of the year in the USA? Some
distinction. Yep.
Will go to another Marvel movie, Spider-Man No Way Home will be relayed on December 17th.
Okay, you see there's a bold word there. Thank you for reading. Good job. The bold word, what's the bolded word?
Distinction.
Distinction. Have you ever heard of that term before?
Nope.
Distinction. Sometimes you receive a distinction. Maybe something you do is distinct. Did you know that it actually defines the word distinction for you? It says words to know on the bottom of page 5. Take a look at that. Words to know. Because it's bolded, it's a noun. Distinction's a noun. Go ahead, read it for us.
That's something that makes a person or thing special.
Something that makes it special. If I win the gold medal, or wait a second, if you win the gold medal at the Olympics, is that a distinction? Yeah. Guess what? Everywhere you go for the rest of your life, they're going to be like, that's the person that won the gold medal. If you are a speed reader, or you're the best speller in the world, is that a distinction?
Yeah.
Absolutely, right? Those are distinctions. And now we're applying that word towards movies, right? And a specific kind of movie seems to be the most popular. Did you notice that? They were talking about Spider-Man, talking about superheroes. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to pick a corner of the room. You're going to go stand in that corner and wait for directions. Go.
Where do I want to go? Here.
Corner of the room. Get away from everybody. You want people away from you.
Go away.
You can stay right there. That's fine. Okay. You're a superhero. You got to think about what your superhero name is going to be.
Nope, not in the teacher's area.
Oh, we'll wait. All right, so 2 things. You got to think of what your superhero name is, and then what the special superpower is. So if your superpower is flying, you're going to fly for us when I call upon you. You're going to say the name, and you're going to do whatever it is that is your superpower. But you have a full minute and a half to think about it. Don't talk to anybody. I just want you to think. What is the superhero you're creating for yourself? What's the name and what's the superpower? You have a minute and a half. Go. You can test things out too.
I don't know.
Just think to yourself. How would you save the world? Think about superheroes. They saved the world. What could you do that would help the world or save the world? What would your special superpower be? And how are you going to act that out and show us what your superpower is? Got 15 seconds, and then we're going to share. Superpower. Need a name, too. All right, time. Who wants to share theirs first? Go ahead. Come up here. You got to stand on the mat up there. You got to tell us what your name is as a superhero and what your specific superhero power is, and act it out.
Okay, so I forgot. I mean,
Spy Girl, and what's your superpower?
laser eyes.
Laser eyes. Show us laser eyes.
I do not know how to.
Show us laser eyes.
Go like this, Leslie.
Like a little laser pointing.
Whoa! Her eyes are popping out of her head. Holy cow. Good job. Clap, everyone. Good job. You gotta pick somebody. Pick someone to go. You gotta go today or I'm picking. Go. Pick. All right, go.
I don't want to go.
Do it. Get out of the way. All right. Nope. Go back to where you were. Return to your spot.
Over there.
Yep. All right. Go ahead, buddy. What's your superpower, or what's your name?
I don't know.
I don't know. And what's your power?
I don't know.
Not knowing. Show us what it means to not know.
You go like this.
Ah, shrugs his shoulders. There's his superpower. All right, pick someone.
Emma.
All right, go.
Oh, I don't even know my name. Emma Listic. Come on.
Superhero.
Emma Listic. Listic.
but she flies.
Flight girl.
Flight girl. Oh yeah.
Supergirl. I was just kidding.
She's got the blue sweatshirt. She could fade into the sky. You
Yeah.
never see her coming.
Be a
Yeah.
bird.
Can you fly? Show us if you can fly. All right, pick somebody.
Teresa. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Teresa's gonna make it sponge.
My name is Weird Girl SpongeBob. And my superpower is that I can dance so hard that I can make people dizzy until they knock themselves out, and then I get to drag them wherever I want. And this is my superpower.
Are you a superhero or a supervillain?
Not sure what just happened, but good job. All right. Oh yeah, I think we may have forgot to clap for those who went already. Okay. Who has it? Go ahead. Go ahead.
You got chances to sing.
Yeah, go like, my name is I don't know.
You were saying I
All
don't
right,
know.
go ahead.
I don't know. My superpower is lightning, and I don't know my name.
I don't know.
Your name is Stitch.
Miss Lightning, the storm,
Yeah, Miss
Storm.
the storm. And how would you do that?
Electric.
Electric.
Is there sound with it? Ooh, electrous. That's cool. Has anyone not gone?
Miss Lexi.
What?
Oh, yep. Come on up. All right. Good job. Thank you. Everyone clap. Okay.
Miss Lexi.
Good job. Thank you.
Your name is Lex
No, I don't.
Oh, calm down. Calm down. Easy. Breathe. Take a deep breath. It's okay. We'll survive. All right. Go ahead.
My power is strength, and I am the strong woman.
Strong woman. There you go. Excellent. Good job.
Make the world up.
All right. Go back to your seats. Oh, mine? Let's see here. I would be, what does the world need? I think the world needs better health. So I would be a doctor, and I'd have a stethoscope, and my power would be, all I'd have to do is point my stethoscope at you and say, healed, healed, and then you'd be perfect.
Without COVID.
With it, no COVID, no COVID.
Well, what would be your name?
Mr. No COVID, Dr. No COVID.
Dr. No COVID.
There you go. Dr. Heal, that works too.
Dr. No COVID.
Okay.
I
We're missing one, missing two. Did they go to the restroom?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's just take a breath for a second. I just want you to reflect a little bit. I want you to
Your
think.
superpower.
Go ahead, have a seat. We're going to move on here. Unless you had a superpower you wanted to share. Okay. We'll wait.
Moses can ask me to go first, so I'm gonna look for him. See if he's on.
Maybe he's doing number two.
Did he
Maybe.
go to the bathroom?
Maybe
Did he
he's
say
doing
that?
number two.
He just walked in there.
He had
You
asked.
saw him go?
He had said something to me. I thought maybe
Okay.
he'd check with you, but okay.
Miss Lexi.
What?
I think Moses is doing number two.
Okay, Leslie, that you don't need to talk about
Not
some private
appropriate.
business.
Okay. So we have completed page 4. We're looking at page 5, and we see year in review. But I have a question for you. You said you're 9, 10 years old, right? So let's just assume for easy mathematics that you're 10 years old. 10 years old, and let's say you're going to live to be 100.
I want to be 1,000.
So that means you are 10% of your way to reaching 100 years old. Right? So you're 10% there to reaching 100. Now, what happens if you're 20 years old? What percentage are you to becoming 100?
20%.
You're 20% there. What if you're 25 years old?
25%.
25% of the way to 100. And if you're 25, we know 4 25s added up together,
100.
just like 4 quarters would equal what? 100, or if it was quarters, it would be $1, right? All right. You leave it? All right.
Thank you, man. Bye.
Have you ever heard of the thing called leap year?
Nope. Yes.
of leaps, right?
Oh, like this?
Explain what it is for us. Stand up here. Come on up here and explain to the class what it is.
Okay, so leap year is technically like a holiday. It's like it doesn't come every year. So for example, your birthday doesn't come every year. So right now you would be probably like younger, like 2 or 3 years old.
You're on the right track. I can help you a little bit. So leap year happens like this. Every 4 years, much like the Olympics, right? Every 4 years, in February, because you know February only has 28 days, right? We add February 29th to the calendar every 4 years. We add an extra day. Because science isn't perfect in how we calculate time and how we go around the sun, and our revolutions around the sun and rotations around the sun. So every 4 years we add an extra day. So even though there's 365 days this year, in the year 2024, you know how many days there will be because it's a leap year? In 2024, there will be how many days if we're going to add a day?
66.
366. That would be known as leap year. And the day that we added would be February 29th. Yep. Scratch your head if you didn't know that. Clap your hands if you did. 2 people knew it. Everyone else is scratching their head. But do you understand it now? So, if the next leap year is 2024, 2025 would have how many days?
365.
Right? And 2026 would have
365.
365. 227 would have
365.
365. But we get to 228. 2028 would have
166.
Yep, because every 4 years we add that date to the calendar. Make sense?
Yeah.
Clear as mud? You ever heard that expression?
No.
It's kind of a joke.
I want it to be February. I want it to be Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day is the 14th.
Yeah, I can get a lot of
Mine
candy.
is the 12th. My birthday's the 12th.
Let me ask you this. How many of you are like really good? I mean like near perfect spellers. Like you've won spelling bees, or if you entered one, you know you do really well.
Enrique.
No? Let's read about spelling bees from last year. It says, best at the bee. Go ahead, dude. Everyone else follow along.
I was gonna say that.
Spell champion. This year it was DALIL. In
July.
July, 14-year-old Zayla
Avant-garde.
Avant-garde made history. She became the first Black American to win the Scripps National Spelling Bee in its nearly 100-year history. Spelling isn't Zayla's only talent. She holds 3 world records for her basketball skills, including dribbling 6 full-back ones.
Okay. It says that she holds world records in what sport? Basketball. What term did we read when we were reading about movies? There was a bolded term. If you had a world record, that would be known as a distinction, right? It would be a talent as well, but you're exactly right. Remember that word distinction? Distinction. What did we say distinction means? Read it for us again.
Something that makes a person or thing special.
If you hold world records in something, do you think you have a distinction in that?
Yeah.
I think so, definitely. And this avant-garde, what did she win here? What's that photo of?
Her in a picture of the spelling bee. The spelling bee.
Yeah, winning the spelling bee.
The garden.
You guys want to have our own little miniature spelling bee right now?
Yeah, right now. You tell us what to write first person.
Okay, so what happens in a spelling bee is you come up and we say a word, you spell it. If you get it right, we clap. If you don't, brr, there's a buzzer, brr, and you're out. Okay? Anybody want to try it?
Yeah.
Go on up, go first. No one help, no one help. No one help. Nope, stay quiet. Look at us. Are you ready for your word? You're going to spell it. You're not going to write it. You're going to speak it. Are you ready?
Okay.
Your word is hero.
Oh. I have to say here.
Spell hero.
Oh.
No, you're gonna spell it. You're not gonna write it. Like tell us the letters.
H-I. H-E-R-O.
Got it. Good job.
Can I go?
All right. So timeout. This is a really good learning opportunity. When you were reading, you see in the second line how they spelled her first name. That's why they did that. Because if you ever watch a spelling bee on TV, they go letter by letter, just like she did. So that's why they spelled out her first name in letters. Does that make sense? Thumbs up if you're with me on understanding that. All right, who's up next to spell a word? Okay, we'll just start on the end and we'll come across. Go ahead. I want you to spell this word. Year.
Year?
Year.
Y-E-A-R.
Got it. Good job. Next, go ahead.
Selena, you're leaving.
See ya.
Selena's on her way.
If something happens once a year, something happens just once a year, it's called annual. Spell annual.
A-N-U-E-L?
Sorry. Correct spelling is?
Isn't it like A-N-N-U-A-L?
Correct. Yes, annual. Good guess, though. Good guess.
That was a hard word.
And we said annual happens, it means something that happens only
Once a year.
once a year. Okay, you ready for your word? Your word is, I want to make it hard. Your word is metaphor.
Oh, that's easy. M-E.
No helping.
O-D-T-A.
Hey, time out. Actually,
You could have seen back then.
this one here.
What? But that's cheating.
Metaphor.
It's M-E-T-A-P-H-O-R.
Of course you guys know it. You saw it.
Who else wants to go?
Me?
I want to go
Who
there.
else? Who hasn't
Can
gone?
I go then? Leslie?
Anybody want to go? No?
Can I go for her?
Can I go for her?
I haven't gone though.
Go!
Go ahead. Go up there.
Can I go
Can I go last?
I need another
Can I go
chance.
last?
Hey, Mr.
Oh.
Grandhawk.
He's gonna give me a
Mr.
really hard
Grandhawk.
You think so?
Mr. Grandhawk. Can I say Mr. Grandhawk?
words.
Can I tell
What's
Grandhawk
that?
once?
All right. Hey, time out.
Can I go last?
Listen. We said annual meant something that happens how many times a year?
Four.
Once a year is annual, right? What if something happens twice a year? Takes place twice a year.
It's twice that.
Sometimes if it even lasts like for 2 years, it's known as biennial. Biennial. Spell biennial.
B-I.
Annual. Not right.
No, biennial.
Biennial. Oh my god.
B-I and then annual. I think.
B-I-I-N.
I'm putting you on the spot.
I know. I don't know if it has 2 eyes.
Yeah, it does.
B-I.
Biennial.
B-I-I? No.
I'll give you one more shot though.
B-I-E?
Yup.
N-N-I-A-L?
Got it. Yes. Good job. Biennial.
I didn't know if it was an I
Biennial
or a
means it
D.
takes place either twice a year. Sometimes this references something that happens every other year. So, annual happens once a year. Biennial happens twice a year. Sometimes they change.
Can I go last?
You want to go? Go. Get up there.
Wait, Mr.
No, you gotta go. You don't got a chance now. You gotta go.
Mr. Brandhawk.
No, you gotta go.
So persistent.
This ain't to get mad with you.
All right. So we've been. No, it was already like that. It was already like that.
Yeah.
Here's the deal. We've been talking about years in review, but we've also talked about some. Well, stay with me. You're spinning. Focus. You with me? Also talked about something called leap years.
Oh,
Spell leap.
it's 366 days.
Spell leap.
Can I
Leap.
spell it? L-E-A-P.
You nailed it. Good job.
Can I go again?
All right, we'll do one more round. Go ahead.
Boom. Make it harder for him.
Make it harder.
Yeah, he's a great speller. Give him the hardest
No, I'm
word.
not.
Nope,
I got
you're
one.
great at it.
No, I'm not.
February.
F-E-B. February.
Staying with the same
I didn't even
theme.
pick your word.
Staying with the same theme. Calendar.
Calendar.
Oh, so close. C-A-L. Nope. C-A-L-E-N-D-A-R. Calendar. I'll spell it up here.
Calendar?
Yep.
Well, just like February, it's spelled February, but if you say February,
Calendar.
letters are hard.
Calendar. We
What
said
is that?
February.
What is that? Is
Like
that E?
that. These are A's, I'm sorry. Calendar. Calendar. February.
He spells like the A. He writes the A's like the A.
Right, who else wants to go?
Me.
Go ahead.
I wanna go there. Can we make a spelling bee tournament?
All right.
Stay with months.
Me and Teresa are the only ones who still are left. You guys already lost.
All right, here we go.
Easy word.
We've been focusing on
Years.
movies, Olympics, spelling bees. Here's what I want you to spell. Bronze.
Like
Bronze, like the bronze medal.
Bronze. B. Shut your mouth. R.
B-R, yeah.
Is it
Word is bronze.
A? Isn't there an A? Who
Who can help her?
B-R-O-N. W.
Yes, correct. Bronze. B-R-O-N-Z-E.
I didn't even know where the word
Bronze
was.
means you finish in which place?
Third.
Third place.
Silver.
All right, who's next?
Me.
So
Who
can I
got-
give you
You
silver?
gonna go? No? Oh, come on.
Can I
I'll
go?
go.
Just once?
I had to go.
She had to go.
Why don't you go?
No, you gotta go.
Okay.
You go.
And then I'll go.
I'm taking this.
Okay, you
I'll
take
say
that.
the word.
Taking this.
Make give it. Start thinking
That's
of a
You ready?
Yeah.
It's not cheating, just give me a second. November.
November.
Good job.
Can I go?
All right, throw me a word.
Oh, I know.
I
know the word.
It has to be related to the months or the years or calendars.
Spell.
Onomatopoeia.
Years.
What do you got?
I didn't know it had to be months or word or.
It's gotta be somehow connected.
Spell onomatopoeia.
Spell comes jump.
C-O-N-J-U-N-C-T-I-O-N. Conjunction.
Can I?
Alright, well, you
Wait,
guys
can we
can
do
go
a
with
writing
word.
challenge? Give me a
All right, here's what I
writing
need you to do. I need you to line up according to age. But you can't speak. So if you were born in January, you'd be up here. If you were born in December, you'd be like somewhere back in here. Years matter too. So if you're the oldest, you'd probably be at the front. But you can't talk. You can't talk to each other. Gotta line up. Okay, you're the oldest, so you were born in which month? You can talk now. July of which year? 2011. Now everybody else is 2012, right? Or 2012, okay. So you were which month? February.
June.
Doesn't even know.
July.
In July. Are they correct?
Yeah.
Yes, they are. Good job. All right. Go ahead. Go back to your seat.
And March go together. Because they're by
Think
each
so?
other.
I'm spelling the word.
All right.
Let's
Which
do
time
a
do we have
spelling
left?
contest. Let's do a
Which time do we
writing
have
contest.
left?
Who writes faster?
Can we do
5
a
Do we have 5
spelling bee?
minutes left?
Yes.
We have a
You
thousand.
guessed it.
So here's what I want us to do.
Can we do?
I want you to flip to page.
Oh, I don't have mine anymore. You pass me mine?
Flip to page 7.
So there's another leading for you.
Me too.
Flip to page 7.
Ooh,
Go on page
Oh yeah,
7.
they made the first flying car.
Toy Story.
A flying car.
They made the
A
first
flying
flying car.
car.
Find one connection to your life from page 7. Be any sort of connection. Can you find a connection?
Oh, I know one.
Let's talk talking about school projects, right? Everybody goes to school, so that'd be one connection. What's another one?
There's a connection of my life.
Yeah.
I have a horse.
I think you're on the wrong page. I think we're on page 7, bro.
Oh, does it have to be in?
Go ahead. No.
There's a phone.
There's a phone. Yep. Anything else? People. Yeah, you're a person.
Hair.
Hair. They have hair. There's something I wanted to point out. It's kind of unrelated to everything else. Take a look at the bottom. They're interviewing students about yes or no, dealing with teacher assigning group projects. But look at where the boy's from.
Nebraska.
Isn't that cool? It's from Nebraska. It's from where you guys are from. Pretty neat, huh?
That was the.
All right. So as we wrap up, I just wanted to point that out. That was a little bit of a side note since I said that. I'm going to give you a little bit of a quiz. Okay? If you believe the statement is true, you're going to stand on this side. If you believe it's false, you're going to stand on that side.
What is this thing?
I'm going to make a statement right now. If my name is Mr. B, true or false? My name is Mr. B or Mr. Bramhall. If it's true, you stand over there. If it's false, you stand over there. Let's see what you. True. That is true. Next statement. The oldest person in this room is 12 years old. The oldest person in this room is 12. Why do you guys say false? You have to have a reason for why it's false.
Because the biggest,
The oldest.
the oldest person here is Malcolm. He's only 10, not 12.
All right. True or false?
False. He's the oldest.
No, I meant of you guys.
Oh.
All right. True or false? If something happens once a year, it's called annual. The Olympics, the Summer Olympics occur every 4 years. The Summer Olympics occur every 4 years. True. The Winter Olympics occur every 4 years. True. Leap year occurs every 4 years. True. There's 361 days in 2022. Why do you say that's false? 365. All right, that's all we have time for. Have a great day. Thank you. Give yourself a round of applause.
Hey, wait, make sure you guys push in your chairs if they're not pushed in. I see
Push in
some.
your chairs.
Sorry.
What? No. Whenever you get the go ahead, you can go.
We're lining by.
Did you have fun today?
Yes.
Did you learn?
Yes. You're funner than my regular teacher.
Funner.
I think maybe more fun. But yeah, I appreciate that. Did you get up and move a lot?
Yes.
Yeah? You like